In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. The decree of the Most High on rulers of earth. Oh, you who believe, fear God as he should be feared, and die not accepting the state of submission. O people, and the voice of the Eternal came like thunder, rolling across the firmament, saying, who among the mortals dares to lift themselves above their brothers, save those who have first knelt before the flame of justice? I am the sovereign above all sovereign, the ruler of what was, what is, and what shall come. No crown glitters without my allowance. No throne endures apart from my breath. Rulers of earth are not born to command, but chosen to serve. The scepter is the rod of shepherds, not a lash of tyrants. Woe to the kings who fatten themselves upon the cries of the hungry. Woe to the lords who silence truth with gold and sword. For I see all things, and the blood of the oppressed cries out to me from the ground. Blessed is the ruler whose heart bows before the poor, whose law is carved not only in stone but in mercy. For I shall raise such a one in the sight of angels. Let every ruler remember, the breath that raised you up can be taken in but a moment. The power I lend, I can also revoke. I do not dwell in palaces of marble, nor am I flattered by titles and robes, but I walk in the shadow home of widows, and I listen where orphans weep. Therefore, let rulers guard the scales of justice. Let their speech be as clear as flowing water. Let their decisions be as steady as mountain stone. A ruler who listens to the cry of the humble, speak with my voice. A ruler who lifts the fallen, walks in my footsteps. But he who rules with cruelty shall find his throne crumble like dry dust, and his name be as wind forgotten by time, judged by the fire of eternity. Let every throne be an altar of service. Let every crown be a chain that binds the ruler to righteousness. For I, the Eternal, do not bless tyranny. The greatest among you shall be as the servant. This is the law of heaven made known to earth. In the silence before sound, before the ages could count themselves, God alone existed, a singularity of life, thought, love, and mystery. And God said, let there be the beginning, and the beginning was. God opened the hand of infinity and cast forth the seeds of creation. Time burst forth like a river breaking its dam. Space unfurled like the wings of a great phoenix, and existence was born. From the breath of God, stars were kindled. From the pulse of God, planets danced. From the gaze of God, light and darkness were separated, and each given its domain. The sky was stretched like a sacred veil, embroidered with constellations, signs for those who would someday look upward and ask, who am I? Upon the spear of dust and water, God placed a garden amidst the void, earth, not by accident, not by chance, but by divine intent. God modeled the mountains as bones of the world, poured the oceans as its blood, shaped forests as its lungs, and widespread life into its wind. And when earth was closed in wonder, God said, now I shall make a mirror from the clay of earth and the fire of spirit. God shaped humanity, not in flesh alone, but in soul, mind, and longing. And the eternal breathed into them not merely air, but the spark of divine thought. The echo of heavenly memory. And so humanity awoke, eyes wide with awe, hearts burning with unformed questions. You are my image, God said, not in shape, but in essence, not in power, but in potential. You are the bridge between the earth and spirit, dust and flame. To humanity, God gave the sacred duties to name, to nurture, to wonder, and to remember. And God walked with them in the cool minutes of morning and spoke not in thunder, but in thought, and taught them the secret unity of all things. But the Eternal also warned, creation is harmony. Violate the harmony, and you shall feel its sorrow. Then God created the divine laws that govern the cosmos, unseen threads binding all things in balance. The law of cause and echo, the law of sacred reciprocity, the law of inner fire, the law of return. These laws were not written in stone, but into the soul of every living thing. The wise shall feel them like a song carried on the wind. And so all things came into being. The beasts of the field, the songbirds of the sky, the creeping things of shadow, and the great beasts of the ocean. But only humanity was giving the knowing of names and the burden of choices. And when the seventh day rose, God smiled upon the sympathy and said, "It is good, it is balanced, let it be sacred." Then God withdrew, not from presence, but from interference, that humanity might walk freely, choosing to become either mirrors of the divine or echoes of the void. And may the peace and blessings of God be amongst us all. Amen.